as you are such a maiden to the chamber, have not spoken before, you are afforded certain rights, namely that you can refuse points of information being offered to you. However, if you refuse these rights, you will surely be met with a round of applause. Who should accept or waive them?
Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen of the Philosophical Society, sorted homeless people looking for some shelter. I want to talk about a few things. What I really want to look at is the experience of the Scientologist. But firstly, I suppose it's important to point out that this idea of the legitimacy of religion, what I want to deal with isn't just, the concept of legitimacy in a vacuum. I do want to talk about what it means to its adherents, what it means in society, how, yes, it's done things wrong, but it isn't different from any other religion. So when we get out of side opposition is this idea that religions themselves, if they've done wrong, can no longer be legitimate. We think this motion presupposes that, religions can do wrong and still be legitimate, or otherwise there would be no religion. So we're not going to sub into that one. But I guess what Scientology has in common with most other Abrahamic faiths is they're based on really poorly written books constructed by semi-literate people. But we don't think that's important. We don't think, it's not important that L. Ron Hubbard wasn't a man of great repute because we have access to letters. For instance, how do we know that Moses and Jesus were such paragons of society? We don't have access to the letters, which puts most other religions at least a dubious footing. Right? Because, a religion, why do people believe in religion? There's a fundamental human drive to ask the question, who am I? Where am I from? Where am I going? Why are we here? So, if people look to Scientology from that constellation of religions that's available to them, clamoring to give them an answer, why is it that you can stop and say that their experience isn't legitimate? That their conception of ultimate reading of reality is somewhat less than anybody else's? Why do you have that right? I don't think you do. I don't subscribe to any religion myself, but I don't think I have the right to mock. I don't think I have the right to believe in one unsubstantiated claim and mock another from having another unsubstantiated claim. Because I think when there are 8 million members of the Church of Scientology, they're probably getting a benefit from it. If Tom Cruise wants to give thousands of dollars to the Church of Scientology, he probably is getting something out of it. I don't think he's got a problem where he has too much money and there's no sufficient way to dispose of it. No, thank you. So, is Scientology harmful to people? Yes, but does it make any claims exclusive of other religions? No. Christian Science denies that people should turn to medicine. That's perceived as a religion. Jehovah's Witnesses are being perceived as being religious, but often, according to doctrine, aren't supposed to take blood transfusion, meaning that many people, including children, die because of it. Yet we still see that as a religion. Islam and Christianity often drive its adherents to kill other people for that religion, having massive harms to others and to themselves. Is that bad? Yes. Are they still religions? Yes. Does society still see them as legitimate forms of religion? Yes. Why is Scientology any different from that? We think, I don't agree where they stand on psychiatry, but I think if any other religion has the right to make medical claims and be perceived as religious, then these do as well. Yes.
You're giving lots of claims that apply to very specific groups, and I think you regard that those claims sufficient to illegitimize those groups. Do you not think you can just apply that same logic to Scientology?
I think this debate has presupposed that religion is legitimate. And that's the debate I'm going to deal with. I would rather, if we could wipe the concept of religion and all the false notions that's implanted in people's heads from the world tomorrow, we could all be rational humanists. I would like that, but seeing society applies a certain value to religion, I'm going to presume that that's what the debate is about. And that this is serving as much debate, as much relevance is any of the other ones. So let's look at why people go to Scientology. Scientology isn't all bad. It does encourage programs like Narconon and Criminal, which reach out to people with addictions and criminal histories and tries to reintegrate them to residential. No, thank you. This is what's the difference between that and the missionaries going out to Africa and offering salvation and food if you convert to Christianity for the tribal religion? No, thank you. I don't think that's any different. You find people who are vulnerable and you offer them salvation and survival through your own religion. That's not any different. If you don't like that, then don't support any religions. And if you do have a particular religion and indulges in that, maybe you should question itself. And I don't think it puts you with anyone else because the religion is a little bit older. That's not good enough in this debate. So, what is the intent behind Scientology? Why do people hand out DVDs in front of the GMB before this debate? Is it because they secretly hate people and they want us all to suffer, they want us all to be misled, they want us all to give up psychiatry? Or is it because these people believe that what they're doing is good, that they want other humans to be happy and they think this is a way to do so? Go on.
Their aim isn't to make people happy, it's to make money. The difference between Christianity, let's take Christianity, and Scientology is there have been failures by individuals within Christianity, but the aim is to make people happy, to bring people salvation.
No, no, just because L. Ron Hubbard wants to make money doesn't mean that people now within the church believe that. Like if you believe it's good, like in that case, right, look, there are people of disrepute within the church. I'm sure a lot of popes throughout history have accepted that position because they want to enrich themselves. Does that delegitimize their religion? Because people have an obsession with power? Or are there people who believe in this? Who want, think this is the route to salvation, and even though it might be hard on you in some respects, they might have to give up your family, that they want you to be better people. How is that different from converting to Islam and never speaking to your apostate family again? How is that different from going to a monastery and not seeing your family for 20 years? We haven't got any talk from Matthew except, well, Scientology does it, so it's particularly bad, and it denies the legitimacy that other religions get, even though they indulge in very different things. So I do believe that most Scientologists are good people. I think perhaps it wants to make money, perhaps it wants to make money so it can spread the word. Perhaps it engages in litigation because it wants to protect its beliefs and doesn't want them ridiculed. I think when back in before 312, when throwing Christians to lions, they probably would have defended themselves through the law if they could. Does that make Christianity less legitimate? No. So we think that in that situation, then why is it different? Because then you just ask the question, is religion good or bad? And well, I would say that because of all the false means and planting consciousness, when it's done to, with AIDS in Africa, the Pope stands on condom, for women, for members of sexual minorities, it's probably terrible. But if you concede that society exists, it's like if religion exists in society, and that society affords some reverence, then why is Scientology different? If you want to have a debate saying that no religion is legitimate, fine. That's not this debate. So if you want to presuppose that there is some legitimacy to religion, that people have a right to their belief, if people are fundamentally good, I don't think there are 8 billion horrible people out there. I don't think it's good enough for Glenn to get up and say, A-list airheads. They probably think they're doing well. We don't think it's better that, Chuck Norris goes on TV and promotes Bibles, and that's good, and that Nancy Cartwright sends 1 million pamphlets out to the people living in Hollywood, and that's bad. So they don't just want people to be happy. Because, for these reasons, because the intense people aren't bad, because there's mistakes in all religions. If you concede they deserve to exist, so does Scientology. You have to make a case against it, and we beg you to propose. Thank you.